Hey there. So today I wanted to talk about just how crazy life can be sometimes. 6 years ago, 6.5 years ago, I started a job that I was basically forced to do because of my family circumstances and stuff like that. I have to stop studying and start this job just so I can help my family. I've worked that job for 6 years, 6 very long years. And also at the very beginning of that, like 6 years ago, my dad and we had to buy a car because the old car that we had was breaking down all the time. It was very unreliable and the parts were expensive and you constantly had to put in more oil and coolant. It was leaking everywhere. So it was a very, very expensive thing to maintain. So we sold that car and we financed Volkswagen Golf. I think it was a 2016 Golf. At September of last year, I was able to quit my job. So just think about it. I was able to quit my job. Within the first month of quitting my job, I was able to get into a 2-year course on sales management and marketing. I got into that course. I started studying. My friend and we started working as content creators and social media managers for companies here in my town. So we started getting that, working experience, creating content and managing social media profiles for companies. And then when my course, the one that I'm doing, it's typically a 2-year course, and usually at the end of the second year, what they do is that different companies would offer a spot or two for internships. But this year they decided to include the first year as well, so you can cram more hours of actual practical learning, working in a company, you know what I mean? And Volkswagen, they had maybe 2 spots for 2 people for the entire school. So there was 80 people who applied for that. And out of all of those 80 people, I got the spot, which is crazy just on its own. And then when they told me where I was gonna work, it's the exact same place where I bought the car 6 years ago. Can you freaking believe that? Right now, the work that I'm doing, it's all focused around, sales and lead management, but also content creation for the social media of this dealership. So I had to go through that whole working experience just so I can get into that course and work with my friend, creating content and managing social medias, and learn how to do all of that just so I can get into this dealership and do all that work here now. Ain't that crazy? Just how life works. I bought this car here 6 years ago, and 6 years later, I'm working here.